So you've watched movies like Fight Club, American Psycho, Casino Royale, and you've thought the same thing that every other guy thinks. How in the hell did these guys get the physique that they have? And then you just do what most people do. You explain it away. In other words, justify how they got the physique. Well, they've got personal chefs, they took TRT or steroids, they've got trainers, they got a whole team, they've just got good genetics. So you convince yourself that it's unachievable. But I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. That look is extremely obtainable. And what's stopping you, I promise, is not your genetics. It's the fact that you're trying to build this Greek physique body in complete chaos. I'm 5'9", 193 pounds, and I'm around 12% body fat right now. And what's crazy and wild about this is not those numbers, but how I used to weigh the exact same a few years ago, and my physique looked completely different because my body fat percentage was over 20. So what that means is that I didn't lose just weight, I rebuilt my entire physique. And it didn't just stop at the way that my physique looked. My testosterone is over 1,000 now. My sleep is extremely dialed. I have high energy throughout the day. I have purpose and drive, ambition. I'm motivated on a consistent basis. I have high libido. I don't deal with anxiety anymore. And my discipline, it almost feels effortless at this point. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because I used to be the guy who was training 6 to 7 days a week and not really getting anything out of it. No shape, I didn't get any good physique out of it. I didn't improve my drive or my energy, and I definitely did not have an edge, which is what I wanted. If anything, the only thing that I got out of it was more frustration. I was comparing myself to everybody else, and there was just a bunch of mental noise, is what I call it. And I thought pushing harder was the secret, but all it really did was just up my inflammation, ruin my recovery, and make me develop poor habits, which essentially kept me stuck. But then I realized something that changed everything for me. Effort isn't the answer, contrary to popular belief. Rhythm is the answer. We can all agree that your body and your physique is not gonna be built in a week, even a month, right? It's built best through habits that feel natural. The same way that your current habits got you to your current physique and it feels natural and effortless, all we have to do is retrain you the complete opposite way so that you get the physique that you want and optimize your lifestyle the way that you want. You have to get to a place of autopilot where discipline feels effortless, consistency actually builds momentum and gives you energy rather than draining it from you, and your training, your food that you're eating, your sleep, your lifestyle is all working for you and not against you. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how I rebuilt my physique to achieve this Greek physique body. So let's stop wasting your time and let's dive right into the first thing that I wanna talk about, which is your training. So here's what I used to do, and this is probably what you did. I used to show up to the gym with no real plan. Just a bunch of ego lifting, trying to get stronger, and I just wanted to train hard and hope for the best. But this was complete randomness, and therefore my physique mirrored that randomness. Randomness doesn't build a Greek body physique. If anything, it just makes you tired and frustrated. So here's what works for me now, and for those of you guys who wanna build like wider shoulders, a more dense chest, and get chiseled abs, this is exactly what I do. I do chest plus triceps, back plus biceps, and then I used to do 2 different leg days, but I currently only do 1 leg day now because I added more cardio into my routine, and then I do a shoulder workout. Also, I hit abs twice per week. Now here's the principle that I personally live by and I like the most. It just resonates the most with my mindset and what I'm pushing for. I believe that intensity matters far more than mindless volume. And I think, and you could probably argue that most people, if they listen to what I'm about to say, would agree with me on this. Because I don't care if you're doing 12 sets or 18 sets, if you're just kind of surviving the workout at the end of the day. What I care about and what you should care about and what the science cares about is this. Are you progressively overloading with clean form and a real specific intention? Because if the weight is going up or your reps are going up and the weight is staying the same, then your body's gonna have no choice but to adapt and to grow and build muscle. Progressively overloading doesn't at all imply ego lifting and prioritizing the strength mentality that I once used to prioritize. There's a fine line between ego lifting and trying to progressively overload with intent and maintaining your form and just progressing very slowly and incrementally each week. So let me give you guys an example. If you're doing the Smith incline, week 1, you do 225 for 8 reps. Then week 2, you do 225 for 9 reps. Week 3, you do 10 reps with the same weight. Week 4, then you maybe bump it up to 235 and then you go back down to 8 reps. That could be an example of how you would periodize the progressive overload principle. And also, it's really important to note that that example I just gave you only applies if, let's say you do 225 for 8, and that is your failure mark. You could not have gotten 9. And next week, your goal is just to beat what you failed at the previous week. That's it. So if it's 185, if it's 135, if it's 345, I don't care what it is. With good form and you obtain a good pump, you're not injured from doing it, and that's what you want to try to beat for every single exercise, every single week. And it's okay if it's not a weekly thing, if it's a bi-weekly thing, that's cool. Just try to increase it by 2.5 to 5 pounds. You will make progress over a 6-month period. You will be so surprised on how much progress you actually can make. And also, most guys sabotage their sets because they treat it like it's cardio. I'm resting a minimum 2 minutes in between each set, and the only exception to that would be if I'm intentionally doing some kind of drop set, because I really do want to make sure that I'm ready and prepared for the next set. I want my lactic acid that built up from the previous set to fully come back down. And for me, that sweet spot is going to be around 2 to 3 minutes rest between each set. And if you want that Greek body physique, then you're going to need staple, consistent movements that you apply to every single program that you do build for yourself or that you get built for you. Here are the non-negotiable exercises that I do in every single one of my programs and that all my clients do in all their programs. For chest, it's gonna be a Smith machine incline press and then some kind of machine fly or cable fly. For back, any kind of pull-up or assisted pull-up or lat pull down is good, and then some kind of bent over row variation is great. Shoulders, we're gonna do shoulder press, and then lateral raises. I'm a huge lateral raise guy. That's extremely important for building the wide shoulders. And then legs, any kind of squat movement is great for the quads, and RDL for your 2 compounds for legs. And then just maybe Bulgarian split squats to just completely kill your quads. And then hip thrust or leg extension and leg curls. All of those put together, you have a perfect leg workout and routine. And then for arms, all you really need is maybe tricep pushdowns and skull crushers for your triceps, or maybe some kind of dip, and then preacher curl and cable curls for biceps. And you can add accessories if you want, but the foundation is what builds the physique long term. And here's a detail that I think most guys miss. Sometimes the best training is not forcing a training session when you don't feel like you're fully recovered. If I'm not fully recovered, I won't just do a lighter day. I'll do some mobility, I'll do some walking on the treadmill, and then I'll just hit the workout the next day. Now, I will say, if you are a beginner, then you probably don't know your body that well, and it's better off that you just stick to the routine that you've created for yourself, because most beginners are not going to be overtrained. If anything, you're going to be understructured. So you just got to follow that routine. Now, when it comes to cardio and getting your steps in, I think that it's really important. I used to not prioritize it, but now I definitely do, and it makes a world of a difference. Now, you don't need to become some kind of Olympic runner by any means to get lean, or to at least have it be effective. For steps, 7 to 10K steps a day is good. That's gonna burn around 500 calories per day, which is gonna equate to around 3,500 calories per week, which is around 1 pound of body fat, which is great. And then anything else you do could be like walking incline treadmill, 10 to 15 incline for 2.8 to 3.3 speed, sweet spot. I do that all the time now, it's great. And the reason it's money is because it's operating within zone 2 for your heart rate, which is gonna be between 120 and 140 beats per minute. That's the most optimal zone for low impact, low intensity, steady state cardio. You can recover and not have the cardio you do be like counterproductive to your recovery long term. Okay, that's enough for the training. Let's jump into the nutrition aspect of things. Now this is the part where guys either just understand it or they just don't get it at all. Now I used to do intermittent fasting, 16-8. So that's 16-hour fasting window, 8-hour feeding window. Now I currently don't do that anymore because it's not very productive compared to where I'm currently at for my physique, because I'm relatively lean now and it's not helping me anymore when it comes to optimizing my testosterone as it once did. So I'm currently eating a bit earlier than I used to. I used to break my fast at around 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., somewhere in that window. Now I'm breaking it between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. So just understand that the intermittent fasting concept is important based on where you start, which I'm gonna get into in a second. So I recommend intermittent fasting if you sit at a higher body fat percentage. Anything above 18 to 20% body fat percent is gonna be a great place to start for intermittent fasting. It can help you control your appetite. It can help you lean out, of course, clean up your eating window without necessarily having to track anything. So with that being said, here's how I recommend going about it if you do decide to do intermittent fasting. The animal-based diet is gonna be the best approach. So it's gonna be animal-based, as well as simple carb timing. Carbs are not evil. Carbs are a useful tool if weaponized correctly. I'd say just most people don't know how to use them. They end up just drowning themselves in carbs because they're very easy to overeat and they're just very dopaminergic, which is extremely addictive. And most people just don't have the willpower to control themselves and portion it out correctly. So the strategy is gonna be very simple. Proteins and fats as the foundation, carbs as fuel for the workouts, and then any other meal throughout the day, typically gonna be in the evening, is just gonna be more proteins and fats. And if I feel extra depleted, then I'll typically have a little bit of carbs before bed. If like I'm extra stressed or I need a little bit more recovery and my body's not feeling the best, then I add more carbs in. But the important thing to note is that it's never random. It's always with some kind of intention based on what is going on within my body and my mind. Now, here are some of my hard no's, put very simply. No seed oils or any garbage processed oils. Alcohol, absolutely not. Completely crushes testosterone and hinders any kind of fat loss progress that you are making. Ultra processed foods gotta go. And then lastly, it's just not the worst thing, but it's suboptimal for burning fat and losing weight. Liquid calories are not gonna be your best friend, so try to not consume them because you can easily overconsume liquids over eating real foods that are, in solid form. And I'll also throw an additional one that nobody really wants to hear, but it's extremely important: doom scrolling and overstimulation. If you train hard, eat well, even sleep pretty good, but you're overstimulated, your brain is just gonna be fried, bro. And it's inevitably going to make you wanna crave more dopaminergic based things, which typically goes down a negative path anyway. It's gonna lead to bad food, late nights, scrolling more on your phone for dopamine, maybe indulging in some kind of novelty. Any kind of cheap dopamine is what it's gonna basically make you want. That's really why I believe discipline feels so difficult for many people nowadays, and it once didn't probably feel this difficult. It's because most people are just overstimulated and they're not as tired as they think they are. They just need to reset their dopamine sensitivity. And by the way, guys, this exact nutrition strategy, carb timing, grocery list, and what to eat based on your body fat percentage, I have it all broken down inside my school community. Not because you necessarily need more information, but because guys typically get better results when they have a structured game plan and they don't have to continue guessing anymore and searching for new information. Everything's condensed all in one place in my school. All right, next, let's talk about recovery. So sleep is king. That's simply it. Recovery is gonna be your best friend. It's gonna be the thing that multiplies your results. You've heard it a million times, but you don't grow when you train, right? That's what allows and gives you the opportunity to grow when your body senses that adaptation is required. But if you don't recover properly, then the adaptation cannot occur. So they have to work in harmony with one another and they synchronize, okay? And when it comes to sleep, I have a much more different approach than most people. I'd say sleep quality matters far more than sleep quantity, but I also do prioritize myself getting the highest quality of sleep and getting as many hours as I possibly can get. So I'm going for 8 to 10 hours of sleep, and that's me going to bed very early. 9:30 p.m. to 11 is my window, and then I wake up between 6:30 and like 8:30, but it's typically gonna be I go to bed at 9:30 and I'm up at 6:30 or 7. That's my best routine and my best circadian rhythm by far, so you gotta find what works for you and just trial and error when it comes to this type of shit. And I will be real with you, if some of you hear that and you're just thinking to yourself, I can't go to bed that early, it's not gonna happen, then you really just have a discipline problem at the end of the day. You gotta learn to retrain your brain to associate going to sleep earlier with having more energy the following day. As soon as your brain makes this connection, you're gonna want to go to bed and you're gonna look forward to it because you know that there's a great reward the next day. Now, here are my top recovery habits that I believe move the needle the most. It's gonna be 3 things. The first thing is making sure that you're getting enough food every single day and enough protein. Not just for muscle, but to make sure that your nervous system is resetting and recovering every single day. Number 2 is gonna be that 7K to 10K steps daily. That's a staple. It's gonna improve blood flow, digestion, and very importantly for many of you is insulin sensitivity, which will help you lose more fat faster and recover better. And the third thing is morning sunlight. You have to be getting 20 to 30 minutes, ideally, of morning sunlight to set your circadian rhythm, right? 10,000 lux is what you want to get in your eyeballs. The light in your house ain't gonna do it. You have to go outside and get sunlight. It is the brightest light you can get and is the most optimal for getting your brain alert and awake in the morning. This is gonna improve your energy, it's gonna improve your sleep for the following night, because it's gonna get you in a rhythm, and it's most importantly gonna improve your hormones, specifically your testosterone. These 3 changes alone will transform your life. Anything else you add, just look at it as a bonus. Now let's talk about like saunas, cold plunges, and like stuff like that. Saunas, I think, are great. Cold exposure is amazing. I used to do it quite often when I had access to it, but I don't do it anymore. Mobility, very helpful. Breath work is huge. Prayer and meditation is also extremely important, especially if you're anxious or you have a lot of mental noise going on every single day. But don't major in the minors, if you get what I'm saying here. If your sleep is trash and your diet is trash, then obviously no amount of saunas is gonna fix you. So just keep that in mind. And I briefly want to talk about the difference between systemic fatigue and localized fatigue. So local fatigue is typically muscular based. You hit a chest workout, your chest feels sore, then it recovers and it feels better. Systemic fatigue is when your whole system, from head to toe, is completely fried and it needs a reset. This is typically a sign if your energy is flat, your sleep is bad, and your body and your mind are just exhausted, that you don't need to grind more, bro. You need to chill, reset, and recover, and essentially just get back into a rhythm. This is also why in my school, I don't just give you guys workouts, I give you guys structure that can create rhythm. Morning routines, night routines, habit systems and templates, training periodizations, supplement cycling, how to read your blood work, everything you guys need, because the Greek body and achieving that is not just about your training program and having a good workout. In my opinion, it's built based on a life that supports high testosterone. So truthfully, if you want the Greek body, you really don't need obsession. You need to just reprogram your brain to operate on autopilot. You need to be able to do a workout split long enough that you can progress within. You need to have a log book or a tracking system that tells you the next steps. An animal-based diet with smart carb timing. Sleep that makes you wake up energized and ready to take on the day. Steps and sunlight that keep you stable and in rhythm. And overall, just a lifestyle that stops fighting against yourself, because that's what most of you guys are doing. Your life is completely counterproductive to what you want, and you're essentially just fighting against you. So if you're sick of guessing and you want to stop fighting against yourself, and you want the exact structure for workouts, nutrition, supplement guidance, blood work breakdowns, morning routines, night routines, tracking templates, the whole 9 yards, then click the link in the description and join my school community. It's built for beginners and advanced guys who want to take it to the next level. And if you did like this video, then please subscribe, comment what part of this video actually helped you the most, so that I can get some feedback on what you guys are gaining the most value from. Like the video, and if you want to watch more videos from me, then you can click this video that's on screen right now. It's going to be somewhere here, and it's going to be breaking down exactly how I 4x'd my testosterone without TRT and peptides and all that type of stuff.